It sure has been a while, but I've actually sewn some things. And this is Friday Sews. Hello friends, welcome if you're new and welcome back. Thanks for stopping by. This is Love My Crafts and I'm Mary and this is Friday Sews. Friday Sews was started by Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room. It's a hashtag that we can all use when we want to chat with someone about sewing and not blab to our families who don't really get it. So, it's been 2 or 3 weeks, I think. So let's see. The last time I was here, I think I had done my bestie bag and my Allegro pants. And I've been very slow, but I've actually finished 3 tops, 3 this week. So, and I think I bought a couple of things, but that's about it. So let's start with, I can't start with the first one because it's under that one, but I'll start with the second one. This is that butterick pattern that I can't remember the number of. And for some reason, I don't have it in my Trello where I keep all my patterns and projects. So it's the one with the gathered sleeves on the front and the back. And this is a bamboo jersey, which is so pretty and so flowy. And it fits perfect. I will insert pictures. But this fabric is very clingy and shows all the lumps and bumps. Other than that, like Carole from So Carole said, this is a very posh t-shirt. It's a t-shirt with a little bit of extra. And I do love it. I just have to figure out how to ignore the clingy bits. And I put a little tag in here, just says handmade with love, because I couldn't decide. But I don't always remember the tags, and I have a lot of them, and I have some more on the way. So that's not good. And then Patsy is wearing my submission for Sew April blouse. Let's see if I can pull her closer. Come on over. Just don't get on my chair, okay? This is the Love Notions Rhapsody blouse. And I did it with, it was supposed to be a short sleeve, but I thought those were too short. So I made it a little bit longer. Then I thought it was too long. So I put some elastic on it and it makes it come right up to here. I think I have pictures of that too. And this has the gather up here. And it's supposed to have ties right here, but I'm terrible with this binding. Don't even look too close at the neck. I'm all that stupid stitching, then stay stitching, then stitching, then folding over and stitching. They never go in the same line because I don't sew straight. And then I followed a video that told me to stitch it on, then understitch it, then fold it over and stitch it, and you can see all of the lines. Not to mention I had a hard time making the bias binding because when I made it, I cut it a certain size and it was a little too big for the size I needed, so it worked out in the end. I have a ton left over. And I actually have maybe even a yard left of this because I had originally wanted to make a dress. But I couldn't stand letting this fabric sit any longer because it's so pretty. It's kind of wild, but I love the colors in it. I love it. It's very comfortable. It's very cool. I need to do a little trick, I think, with the back yoke and pinch the neck part of the pattern just a little bit because it does that wide thing in the back of the neck. And then sometimes I think I have a sloping shoulder or one shoulder slopes and the other one doesn't, because sometimes by the end of the day, this would be going off my shoulder. And if I pull it where it's supposed to be, where the ruffles is supposed to be, this is too low. And I shortened this when I cut the fabric, and then I shortened it again when I was making the V. I put an extra stitch in there. So it still comes down too low if I put it where it's supposed to go. And then if I pull it up to let it sit right here, that's when it falls off my shoulders. That means I gotta go to work. So I'll probably have to finish this later because underneath there I have another one. But what I did with this was, I think I used the full bust pattern piece, and then I still did this last time, because when I used it before I didn't do this. I did the Nancy Zeman pivot and slide for this part of the bodice, and before I did that I shortened it by 2 inches, I think, because I remember my first one was very, very, very long and I had to cut it. So it's not too long now, you can't see here, but it was fine with the pants I had on yesterday. What else did I do? I think I made the sleeves a little bit wider with the pivot and slide, and it's very difficult because you've got the yoke, which is basically your shoulders and your half of your arm side, and then you've got the back, and then you just have one front piece. So when I did the yoke and the back, I taped them together at the seam allowance and did it that way, because you do, you know, you have to, when you pivot, you have to do the same amount on the front and the back. So I made it all, and the only thing I didn't do was change the neckline, or do a high round back, but that sometimes makes it wider. It's more that the neckline is too wide. Anyway, so it fit perfect all in through here. This was not too tight, and instead of a pleat on the back, let's see if she'll turn. Can't really see it, but I did gathers right here, because I noticed with my other one with the pleat I could feel it, so I did gathers instead of having to do an adjustment to the yoke and the back, and that didn't bother me at all. I can move my arms. It's perfect except for the whole neckline. So that was that. And oops. Now she needs to stand back for this. This isn't finished because it is New Look 6735. I will pop up a picture. It has a shirt, a top, a long sleeve, a skirt. I might even have pants. I'm not sure. It was gifted to me, so it was already cut out to, I think, a 14. So I had to try to extend it to what size it should be and then pivot and slide. And apparently I didn't pivot enough, because it is, or it's meant to be this way. It is very, very tight. So when I put it on, it clings to everything. And it being a stripe, it's probably not a good idea. So I believe, and this is like a roundish scoop, square, weird neckline. I don't know, but it fits perfect. The neckline came out perfect. I just need to make a cardigan, and I believe I'm going to do the Sinclair Harper cardigan in the shorter version, just to kind of, in a thin, I think I have a thin, kind of like a jersey or a very thin sweater knit that I'll make it out of, just for hiding all that stuff, because it's a very nice top. It came out perfect, and it sits where it's supposed to. It just sits there too tightly. So I think that's it for what I made. And I have to leave for work, so I'll have to come back with my plans and things that I've purchased. Well, I'm in the car now, so just waiting for it to warm up before I go to work. I forgot to start it. Oh, there's glare in my... So this is difficult. I'm looking at the green light, so hopefully it looks like I'm looking at you. I don't know, because I had to take my glasses off. So I'm in the car, and I'm watching a cat try to chase a squirrel, but the cat's a little hefty, so I don't think he's gonna get up the tree. He's just watching. So where was I? Hopefully you can hear me, because the car's making noises too. I made those 3 tops, and I will get a lot of wear out of the blouse, and I did put it on Instagram, and I will hopefully get some wear out of that gathered top, because I really love the way it came out. No problems at all. I don't remember anything terrible. I cut my own neckband. I measured, well, I cut a neckband. I don't even think I used the pattern piece. It was basically, the pattern piece was too wide, and I cut it about 2 inches by however many inches, and then I measure the neckline, and then I multiply by, depending on the stretch, I think I did 85% for that one, and hopefully I wrote it down on the pattern, and it was perfect. I did it on the sewing machine first, and then I serged it, and I had no problems with it. I think I did the same thing with the other neckline on the New Look top, because the big four, the necklines are never, actually lately, none of the neck bands have been the right size. I've had to do it myself, which I feel better if I know it's going to fit. So the point was to get more shirts to wear to work, and I need short sleeves, and I'm still not having enough, because the ones I have are kind of old, like this one. So I do have plans. I have a dress, a ready to wear dress that I got, but it's very long, so I want to shorten it to a little bit below the knee, and I think it's supposed to be a maxi. It says midi, but because I have to get it in a bigger size, I guess, I don't know. So I'm going to hem that, and I had an LEMX vacation dress, and I didn't notice until it was put together that, because it was black and then a design and then black for the other tier, and the black that I put on the top was not the same as the black I put on the bottom. So I'm going to take off the top and make it a skirt, and then I have another dress that's similar that was ready to wear. It's like a t-shirt dress but with some tiers, and of course I wore it on vacation and I got a stain on it, so I'm going to cut the bodice off of that and put an elastic waistband to make a skirt. Now the thing is, the black one will go with that top once I make a cardigan, the New Look top, and it will go with, it could go with the Butterick top if I maybe tucked it in, and the other dress is teal, so it will probably, I don't know if it'll go with anything I have. I'll have to make another top. I did get that as part of my purchases. So back to my plans. I do have the Tilly and the Buttons Nell cut out, and I did find, which I will show you once I'm back in my sewing room, some fabric at Savers, or did I show? I'm not sure. That I can't tell if it's a cotton or a rayon challis. It's not a challis, it's not thin enough, but it might be some kind of a cotton lawn or something. It's a thinner, not as structured cotton, and it's navy blue and it has flowers on it, that I'm going to use for my muslin. If there's hopefully enough, I'll at least make the Tilly and the Buttons Nell blouse to hopefully have a wearable muslin. And I do have a fabric for that that is a little crazy. It's not as crazy as the one I made the Rhapsody blouse out of, but it's not really my style. It was just cheap. So those are my plans, I think. I went to Joann's one final time, and I did purchase about 3 yards of black double brush poly. And I think I'm not sure if I talked about this. See? So I got 3 yards of black double brush poly, 2 1/4 yards of this black stretch twill, and it feels so soft, and I couldn't find any other colors. And I really wanted to get another color, but they didn't have it, and everything was, I think, 60% off in that section. And then so I got some burgundy. It says it's Target suiting, so it feels kind of like a rough, I don't know, like a cotton. It's a cotton polyester blend, but it doesn't feel as soft as the twill. And that will be to make some, hopefully some capri pants, elastic waist. But the Allegros, I noticed there's still some baggy spots I need to work on. Yeah, the cat's trying to get up the tree. Oh, don't climb the tree, buddy. You're too big. Anyway, it's time for me to drive to work. So those are my, oh, and Joanne's was, oh, so sad. And they were telling me that they have people, somebody took a sewing machine and went out the back emergency exit, like a fire escape, and it's not even up high. So I don't know how they must have been a former employee if they knew the ins and outs of the store. Strange, and it's so sad. And they say there's some closing this week. Mine was not on that list, but I won't be going back. Everything's just picked over and a mess. And there was a lot of knit fabrics I wanted, but they were only on maybe 40% off. So, and there's just too much to look at. It overwhelms me. I think I've gotten used to shopping online. But anyway, and I also bought some webbing, which I'll show you I'm going to make some tote bags. Oh, I got this fabric that says it's a linen blend, but it's like upholstery fabric. It was one of the, last chance, and I only got 1.5 yards of it. So I'm going to make either a tote bag or a bestie bag or something. And I got some cotton webbing. I got some elastic thread to try to do, what's that called? Ruching? No, that's not what that's called. I know what it's called. Anyway, I got some elastic thread to try. You'll know what I mean. And a seam ripper, because you can never have enough. Oh, and when I was trying on my Love Notions Rhapsody, before I was finished, I had a seam ripper in my hand and I cut a hole in it. So I had to patch it. And you can't tell, and I don't even know where it is on the shirt. It's got to be somewhere down here where I wouldn't even care anyway. So mistakes were made. I wish I would have put that tag in there, but I didn't put a tag. Anyway, I'll be back. Show you my mini haul when I come back. I'm back. So it's the next day, and I have to leave for work soon. But I figured I'd finish up my sewing, catch up Friday sews, etc. I'm wearing my Love Notions Laundry Day tee with my crazy rainbow tie-dye matching scrunchie in case my hair makes me too hot, and my Jazz and Wow earrings. So I accomplished one more thing. Please excuse the mess behind me. Having those shelves is wonderful, but I let them get messy. Come over here. Oh, you can't see. Okay, we'll turn a little bit. This is a ready-to-wear dress from Walmart, and it has the elastic sleeves. They're 3/4 sleeves, and it was all the way down to my ankles, and it was too long. So I cut off about 4.5 inches, 5 inches, and you can't tell because you can't see the bottom, but I just tried it on, and it seems to fit where I want it to fit. And it's shearing, that's the word, up to about the waist, and then it has pockets. And it's not my color, but that's the only color they had. That's the thing about ready to wear. You have to get the size they have in whatever color they have, and that's it. That's why. But I was looking for dresses to either copy or just to have, and some work attire. I'm wearing this to work. I don't care. Nobody really sees me, but I still like to dress for work sometimes. And so now I will go over my little mini haul, and I think that's it. So I got, when I went to Joann's, I'll show you the maroon one. The other two colors are black. So it's a black double brush poly and a black stretch twill to make pants with. The double brush poly is just for my stash. But this is that suiting, and it's, let me see. It doesn't feel as rough now, but to me it feels a little rougher than quilted cotton, but it's not as structured. But, it's pants, who cares? And then this is the fabric I found at Savers. And it was 2 cuts, and I'm hoping I can use it to toile. And yes, it's blue, so. it at least is more of a color than brown for me. And then, what else did I get at Joann's? Joann's, oh, this guy, you think he would have been like $3? No, it was like $6. Even with the discount, I can't remember what it came to, but I like the ergonomic seam ripper. My old one didn't seem as strong or sharp. So that's that. And then I think this was from Amazon. Some shirring elastic. I'm going to try it. I don't know if I even have a pattern that has it, but just to try it, because whenever I see a pattern that has shirring, I say, oh no. My machine will probably act up and have a fight with me if I do that. So that was that. And I also ordered, I didn't realize how big this was, but the last time I ordered webbing, I only had enough to make 2 little tote bags. So I think it's more, it says cotton. This one doesn't even have a sticker. It says cotton webbing, but you can feel it's not, it's got that polyester sheen to it, so it's not totally cotton. But that's what you get when you order from Amazon. I should have checked Waywack or Wowwack or whatever. I went to Hobby Lobby with my mother the other day, and she got me this sign to hang in my sewing room. I don't know if it's backwards. I can't see because I took my glasses off. It says sewing forever, housework whenever. As you can see by the mess. I actually tidied up in here a little bit the other day, and then I made a mess. I also got this from the Dollar Tree. It is a dish drying mat, but I'm gonna make a little bag out of it. Because it's watermelon and they're so cute. Almost as cute as strawberries. I think that's it. Did I buy any new patterns? I printed the Harper cardigan, but I haven't glued it together yet. I'm trying to think if I bought anything new. No, but I was inspired by Sew Frugal, and I did get a couple of Sew Over It patterns that were free. Otherwise, their prices are a little bit much for me. I was watching Tiffany on Who's Your Handmade. I think that's who it was that said that her Joann's had no patterns. When I went, they were all still there, but they were 50% off, and that's still 5 times what they normally charge. So I didn't even look at them. Just gonna have to use the website from now on, I guess. Although I did see, we have Michael's craft store, and I did see they had one end cap with patterns on it. So maybe they're gonna get some more, or maybe some of the stores that, you know, take overstock are going to have some. We have something called Ocean State Job Lot. They might have some. I'll be keeping my eye out. And then there's something called Ollie's, which said they had blanket yarn from Joann's, and it was an old batch of blanket yarn, you could tell. And I saw it there the last time I was there. So they're just trying to, you know, get sales from somebody closing. Well, I guess I better get to work. Join me next time, where I'll either be 2 weeks later from now and maybe sewn one thing, or maybe I've sewn a bunch of things. You never know what's going to happen. And let me know what else you'd like to see. I have done tutorials on dog clothes, but I was thinking about other tutorials. I had a list, and now I don't remember what it was. And I think I have 4 or 5 empty bags that I need to fill, and we will do the Fabric Wheel of Fate dice game again soon, probably for the summer. I'm not sure. What else is going on? What are you working on? Have you switched over to making spring clothes yet? Do you have the same trouble I have, where you get a bunch of tops and one fits okay, one's too tight, one shows too much? Or does everything always come out perfect? No, I know it doesn't. But, oh, it's so frustrating sometimes. But it's just as bad as going and buying a shirt, and if you get it in the size that's right for the rest of your body, it's too big up here. So that's why I sew clothes. I think I finally got to about 400 subscribers. So if you have not subscribed already, which according to the, according to the analytics, there's about 60% that watch but don't subscribe. So if you haven't subscribed, please just hit that button. You don't have to watch the videos. Just hit the button. I'm kidding. And like, if you like this video, every time you give a thumbs up, it sends me out into the universe. And thank you so much for watching and commenting. I love the comments because, like I said, nobody else wants to listen to me yabber on about sewing. So you listen and you comment, and I'm having a conversation. It's the closest I'm going to get to sewing friends, because around here, I think there's mostly quilters. And that's a whole different world unless you do both. Also, if you have converted a dress to a skirt, let me know the best waistband option. I already gave up on one because the staycation is all gathered, and so it's really, really, really wide, and then I have to figure out a waistband, and then I have to gather, and I didn't know what to cut. So I thought I had a waistband, but I made it too small. This is 2 pieces together, but so if you have any waistband ideas to turn something into a skirt, if you've done this before, let me know in the comments. I hope you have a great weekend and get lots of sewing done. Until next time, bye for now.